Welcome to the Week 12 wrap-up, this 13th season of Blood, Sweat, and Beers. As we have just 2 more weeks of the regular season left, Week 12 cleared up a little bit of the playoff picture for us. With yet another loss, unfortunately, Alex Billy has removed himself from playoff contention. He is officially out, no longer in the running. And so we apologize. He is now just fighting to retain his naming rights for next season. Hope that works out for you. As we look at some of the other playoff contenders here, we're just about everybody else is still in the mix. Now, Poncho only has about a 26% chance according to ESPN, and not Light Rail Coyote. Zach, Hold My Beer. Just razor thin margin to still make the playoffs. Very, very improbable. But if we looked at the top of the standings there, a lot of very interesting things going on. We think about our number one seed and how he has fared. Augustus Gloop still leading the league in points scored, had quite a bit of a head start on that for most of the season. Been chipping away at it, but he's still got quite a few more points scored over the course of the season, but has lost his last 2 games, 2 in a row. Even though he's locked into the playoffs, he's got 2 more games to kind of right the ship a little bit. Obviously, the injuries have had a huge effect on all of us, as well as the bye week. So that will start to solidify just a little bit, and we'll see if he will maintain that number one position as he's heading in. Now, we also think about Light Rail Coyote, who is definitely backing into the playoffs, I think, in the truest sense. So leading for much of the season, 7 straight wins to start, and has lost now 4 of his last 5 games. And so 2 losses in a row himself. I don't think I've ever seen anybody more involved with complete roster mismanagement, both for and against him. Not always him, not always his roster, but people playing him. It's crazy how different each of those games could have gone. But that being said, 4 of the last 5 he's lost. So even though he was locked into the playoffs on the strength of the early part of the year and Derrick Henry, Kyler Murray, that team isn't what it was. Some of the players, obviously like Henry, aren't even there anymore and won't be most likely. So we'll see what the playoff implications are once they start, since we know he'll be there. Hail Murray, another team locked in. Also on the losing end here the last couple of weeks. So while we had some teams that were definitely the front runners, and we have 3 teams at 8-3, definitely not firing on all cylinders right now, charging into the playoffs. They're kind of working their way up there. So we'll see if that starts to adjust itself as well. So then that means for the rest of us, that means that there are 3 spots left for 4 teams. And so that's where the real drama will happen. Some are much more likely to win and get in than others. We know that teams like Keith's team, Team Houdat, even though he's sitting at 6-6 and tied with those other 3, the points are kind of catching up with him. The lack of points scored are catching up with him just a little bit. So we'll see where that ends up by the time we start coming around. So interesting matchup, couple of interesting points. Joe's team, Kittens Mittens, has had the high score of the league 3 of the last 4 weeks. So it's possible that maybe now his team is starting to pick up some steam as we head into the playoffs. And as we know, you just have to hit at the right time. So get to the playoffs, and if your team is finally firing on all cylinders, it doesn't really matter what the record is. So will that continue this week? We'll have to see. More injuries are affecting all of the scores, so we'll have to see if that has an effect on the standings there. Also, it'll be interesting to see brother versus brother this week. So it'll be interesting to see which brother comes out on top, or which one manages their roster better. My money's on Joe. Enjoy week 13.